This is just where she happens to make her she puts her foot down, and I'm here for it. So let's go.
Ranking member of the House Oversight Committee is also part of a congressional subcommittee that will work with Musk's Doge. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining me this evening. There is a lot to unpack, especially the title he has. Now, as a special government employee, would that give him the right to be able to access the Treasury Department's payment system or even USAID?
No, absolutely not. I like that you laid out the description of the type of employee he is. This is the first that I'm actually hearing of it. We thought that this may have been his classification. With this classification, you normally are not allowed to run anything. Absolutely not. So that's already exceeding the scope of what you're allowed to do with this type of classification. That's number one. Number two, with this type of classification, you're looking at maybe about 120 days. This isn't somebody that is supposed to be on full time forever. So maybe that's why he wants to sleep on the job, because he knows that it's supposed to expire. But right now we have an administration that could care less about what the courts say that they can do, that could care less about what the law says, that could care less about the Constitution.
Which is exactly what I've been saying, right? Everybody's got their fucking, hopes up that the courts and all these, legal bindings are going to hold, and I believe me, I hope that I am proven wrong in every sense, and that it does hold, and that these lawsuits stop these blatantly illegal and unconstitutional executive orders and what do you call them, appointments to government positions, and the access that's been given. I really do. I hope I do, but I am not resting everything on the court system like I did before. Right? I am planning for that not to fucking work, and if it does work, thank God. But I'll tell you right now, I'm planning for the fucking worst, and I am planning for that court system, because these people that don't fucking care. They're going to do the shit before the court gets to say anything anyway, right? In a lot of these cases, they're just going to implement their policy, right? If the court wants to fucking try to stop them after, right? At least our policy's in place. You can stop it fucking, it's going to be harder to stop that way.
Constitution. And so I think that we have to understand.
And I'm shitty at saying this. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you helping out the show. Again, any and all super chats and milestone super stickers will be recognized and read at the end of the stream. I really do appreciate you guys. Share it out to your friends, your family. If you have the $1.99 you can spend this month, feel free to become a channel member right below me. And there's also patreon.com/Boston Brian. For as little as $5 a month, you can join that Patreon team. And you can also get some merch at getdemshirts.myshopify.com. Stuff for single moms, stuff for, people with mental health issues that you might be dealing with. What else we got in there? Slava Ukraine, always representing any and all proceeds above and beyond what we paid for the shirt goes straight to United 24. So that would be fantastic. If you at least check the site out, maybe you find something you like, maybe you find something you need. They're really, really good quality, and they're all designed by my girlfriend, Mel. She is fantastic at it, and she deserves all the credit, all the recognition, and all the shirts and sweatshirts to be sold. So please head over there and check it out. I would very much appreciate it. But let's continue with Jasmine.
That we are not dealing with normal people. We are dealing with someone who is proven to be a criminal, proven to be disrespectful to us as Americans. And listen, we have to fight him the exact same way. We have to come back with the same type of energy, which means that if you want to play ball, then I'm ready to play ball. Listen, you guys decided to do this while the House was out. Well, the House is back in as of tomorrow. And I can guarantee you there will be some spicy things that I will be up to tomorrow, because I am a duly elected member of the U.S. House, and we will have some things that we are trying to do. As of today, we know.
I just would not want to be on the opposite side of the aisle for any reason whatsoever against Jasmine Crockett. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't care what the fuck we were fighting for or against. I would be shaking in my shit.
That
Well, like what, for example?
So Ranker Meeks, who is the ranker for Foreign Affairs, he filed a privilege motion as relates to this trade war, which, of course, Trump has allegedly resolved that very quickly. But he was exceeding his emergency powers. He was misusing his emergency powers to try to engage in this anyway. So at this point in time, if we've got to file privileged motions, if we've got to do amicus briefs, if we've got to physically show up some places and ask some questions, because you can't keep us out. You may be able to say to whomever is running security somewhere that you're going to keep employees out. But as a sitting member of Congress, especially one that serves on oversight, and I've got oversight over the entire federal government, you're not going to keep me out of anything.
One of the things that's been happening in terms of the playing ball has been federal unions have been suing to block Musk's ability to actually access the sensitive data for the Treasury.
Yeah.
Congress, obviously, in a different position than a litigant, an average litigant. What could the Democrats do specifically, as opposed to being in the majority, to actually try to combat this? It doesn't sound like there's the largest of appetites among Republicans to say that the mandate may have been for you to serve in office, but not to have this wide scope of authority for a non-elected official.
Well, I'm definitely going to say that the mandate wasn't there at all. The numbers are really small, kind of like his crowds. So I'm not going to say that there was a mandate. But what I will say is that it is time for us to stand shoulder to shoulder with those that are going to file those lawsuits. We've got to make sure that they know that we are giving them access to our constituents, making sure that they know these are the stories of our
ahead, but there is a good
limitations
part.
for when you have to file disclosure or ethics. If you exceed a certain amount of time, it triggers even more oversight over who you are for the reasons you're talking about. But I want to get to a new appointment that seems to be happening. President Trump is appointing Darren Beattie to a top State Department role. I know many people remember who Darren Beattie is. He was fired.
All right, so she's about to explain that this gentleman was fired in Trump's previous administration and now rehired to an even more important role in his second administration, but I'll let it go on.
In 2018, from being a speechwriter, he was speaking at a conference attended by white nationalists, and then
that's all. Yeah, it's fucking weird. It is just fucking weird how every single person that fucking links up with Donald Trump has some connections to white supremacy. Like almost every single one of them. It's just it's fucking
Nazis.
Real. You know?
I'm standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis.
And fucking Donald Trump just keeps hiring them into his administration. He just fucking can't stop. Unreal. All right, sorry, we continue.
A few months ago, he posted this, Congresswoman. Competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work. Unfortunately, our entire national ideology is predicated on coddling the feelings of women and minorities and demoralizing.
Now let you just sit right there. I'm gonna sit that and let that sit on you. Competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work. Now, I don't know. What's he getting at there? I wish he wasn't like so beat around the bushy, you know? Unfortunately, our entire national ideology is predicated on coddling the feelings of women and minorities and demoralizing competent white men. Okay. Now, don't worry. I got something for that. That'd be this one. I mean, what are we doing here, people? What the fuck are we doing? Right? Again, just another asshole in the administration, but we continue because Jasmine's got something to say about it.
Competent white men. Your reaction to his appointment?
He needs to go. I mean, this is very simple. We right now have a white supremacist that is sitting in the White House. He is backed up by other white supremacists. And if you really want to know who the criminals are in this,
again, notice how this isn't the John Fetterman. Oh, we gotta take it easy and stop overreacting. And no, well, fascists might be taking it too far, and I don't think he's a fascist. And let me go down to Mar-a-Lago, and I'm playing 7D chess because he's manipulatable and fucking, I can manipulatable his brain and hopefully, like, again, no, none of that fucking bullshit. None of that bullshit. Straight up, he's a fucking white supremacist surrounded by other white fucking supremacists, right? And he's got to go. Gotta go. Right? I think, hold on, I got something for that too. Right? Like, picture him being on Air Force One, and then I'd love to be this. I'd love to do this on Air Force One. Just give him the fucking boot right out.
Get off my plane.
Oh, how good would that be? All right.
country. You can Google it. You don't have to trust me. But the people that commit 80% of the most violent crimes in this country are white supremacists. Yet,
talking shit.
For whatever reason, they sit and they serve at the pleasure of the president. They are the ones that were there on January 6th, tearing our democracy down physically. And now we have them tearing us down.
Inject this energy right into my veins. Inject it right after the disinfectant. That almost rhymed.
Right here from within.
YouTube, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do any of that. It was a joke. That was satire.
And here is the problem.
Of course, Congresswoman, to interrupt you, but President Trump, of course, has denied any allegations he's a white supremacist, and that's why he apparently fired what he. I know your point, but he did fire Darren Beatty in reaction, they believe, in part to his attendance at that conference. Does that change your opinion in any way?
No, it doesn't change my opinion.
Funny, CNN would have to inject that little piece. Did you notice that, ladies and gentlemen? Did you notice that? And did you notice what they left out of that little correction? Did anybody catch that? Let me go back here. Let me go back and see if you catch that one more time.
What he is,
sorry.
I know your point, but he did fire Darren Beatty in reaction, they believe, in part to his attendance at that conference. Does that change your opinion in any way?
No, it doesn't change my opinion.
Do you notice how they didn't say, does that change your opinion of the fact that he just rehired the same man that I am now trying to correct you on, right? And I don't know if it was this presenter or her producers in her ear telling her that she needs to come back that, but it's just strange that they would say, you know what, he did fire him now. I mean, I know he hired him again, and it's an even more important position, but can we please remember that he fired him? Like, get the fuck out of here, CNN.
Because we saw what he literally recently just posted. And the coddling is for the white boys. That's what's happening right now. I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel away and why you can't make me doubt who I am is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education. This is why they are trying to literally say we won't.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I got to stop it. I needed a second. That was just my barrels were getting too hot. I was firing off way too many rounds on that one. Got to let them cool down. Holy shit.
Fund the HBCUs because they know that if they've already gone after affirmative action and they're saying, you know what, don't allow them to come into, say, these PWIs, as we call them, don't allow them to come into these institutions. We know why they created the HBCUs in the first place. It was because they wouldn't allow us into the white institutions. And so now
yep. Facts on top of facts.
Not allowing us in. And now they're saying, you know what, we're also going to defund the HBCUs. You know why? Because they don't want any more Kamala Harrises. They don't want any more Jasmine Crockett's. But I got news for them. I don't care what they do. We will fight to the end to make sure that we get our due. Because again, if you want to talk about the people that shouldn't be in this country, you probably need to look in the mirror. Because the last time I checked, the Native Americans who some of ICE have been rounding up, or the Puerto Ricans who are absolutely Americans. Listen, the only people that came and colonized this place are your ancestors, Trump.
Ooh, whoa! Good Lord, that's a lot of fucking hell. Oh, give it to me. God damn. Oh boy. All right. Cool it now. You got to cool it now. Ooh, watch out. Oh, God. All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back. But next time I tell you to shoot, that's how you shoot.